Hi, you're watching an episode of 3 Minutes In with Astro Space Hero. We're going to do an exercise called grounding. What is grounding? Well, it's an exercise where you focus on the moment. Focus every bit of awareness to ground yourself in the present moment. I've been doing some research on various other forms of spiritual awakening, and some of them have been brought on by trauma. Some people have it through twin flames, that kind of situation. And essentially what it is that you're overcome by your emotional state. So grounding is actually very important. So what you're doing is taking a sequence and focusing on that exact moment. Because the problem with the law of spiritual awakening is that your mind is creating chatter and it's creating emotional distress. That's one of the things about meditation, is to learn that you are not your thoughts. And one of the things I have discovered since I started this show is that because I'm a little bit more aware of the process, that my soul or essence is who I am, and this particular body or incarnation is a spacesuit around it. And I can't take that analogy. It's New World All-Stars analogy, but it was a brilliant one. I was like, oh, okay, I could totally get that. So your physical body and your biological processes, this is the outer casing of who you really are. Now, the reason why people have this spiritual awakening is that, like, okay, I'm deeper than my thoughts. And a lot of people really aren't aware of it. They really go through their lives reacting, and they believe that their mind is actually who they are. And actually, that's one of the things that they recommend with meditation, with people becoming more spiritually awakened, is a meditation lifestyle. And why is that important? Well, think about it. If you're grounding yourself and aware of the mental chatter, then you realize, okay, that part really, technically, if you think about it, isn't you. And if you focus and cultivate on the thing that really is you, it can help you through other, it'll help you on your soul's journey in this world. I'll leave it like that. Now, we're going to do a 3-minute countdown, and same as before, put a music bed. And I really enjoy all of your comments and feedbacks. It really does mean the world to me. And I did talk to a friend of mine, Mark Holmberg, about what I was trying to achieve with this channel and with this particular show. And I was like, well, I like the fact that my audience is kind of like coming along with me on the ride. I'm kind of discovering the same things you are. This isn't something like I've done it for 20 years. I'm discovering it at the same time you are. So I'm going to make some mistakes on these episodes, and hopefully this new camera setup works out good. So what we're going to do is do a 3-minute silent countdown. I've had better success counting down from 100 mentally backwards. I've tried doing the sigil, but unless there's an actual sound, it's actually very hard for me to stay completely focused on just an image. I mean, you can do an image, but it usually has to be like a little movie or I would say a GIF in your mind. Maybe that should be the title for this thing, GIF in your mind. And essentially you're taking an intentional loop that you're focused on, and you're trying to take the other loops of, not necessarily bad thoughts, but your thoughts, random emotions, and you're going to try to replace those endless tape loops that are going off in your head as you're trying to focus on your meditation with a specific GIF in your mind. So what we're going to do on this exercise is I'm going to set a timer, put a music bed, but I want you to focus on a little loop of positive experience. Now for me, one of my best memories recently, and this is because it was a family trip to North Carolina, to the ocean, and I love seeing the ocean. And it's a loop in my mind of the sea coming in, and it was wonderful. And I have that evocative image of the tide coming in, and it was like sunset. And it's such a vivid memory, and it was just before the pandemic, so it's kind of evocative of the time before. So we're going to do a countdown. I'm ready to start. Think of some image like that, like a little loop of like, it could be not necessarily just the ocean, it could be something specific and something. I usually say focus on something happy, because that kind of dissipates the other loops of thoughts and conversations in your head. So we're getting ready with the timer, and begin. Well, there's a timer. That's amazing. I know I had 3 minutes set, but it felt almost like 45, 50 seconds at most. So it's definitely a technique I may explore next episode. The image I had was like the ocean coming in, and I was videotaping my daughter with a camera, and we were on the beach, and I could feel the water coming into the sand. And that was kind of like the moment I kept like playing in my head and kind of trying to focus on it. There were still some random thoughts, but I was trying to bring them to that situation, and that seemed to have had a pretty good effect. Even though I had random thoughts and I was kind of drifting a little bit, it worked a lot more effective in the counting down from 100. So try this method, And of course, like, and tell me what your experience is using this particular method. I guess, what would it be? The GIF mind method? Maybe that'll be the title. GIF mind method. So let me know in the comments how it worked for you. And of course, likes, comment, subscribe, and share. And again, thank you for being an audience for my show. So I really appreciate it. And I will see you next time. So says Astro Space Hero. We will see you next time on 3 Minute Zen with Astro Space Hero.